Your chronological age is misleading. Two people born the exact same year can have bodies that are biologically 20 years apart. Same birthday, but completely different internal health. One might feel vibrant and young while the other already shows signs of advanced aging on the inside. Most people are unknowingly speeding up their own aging every day. I reviewed the published research from 3 of the world's leading longevity scientists. These aren't supplement sellers or podcast personalities chasing views. These are the actual researchers doing the real work and publishing peer-reviewed data. The biggest mistakes they found aren't what you'd expect, especially mistake number 2. It comes from a physicist who built a biological death clock that calculates how fast your cells are aging at the deepest level. His findings on common healthy habits might make you question what you thought you knew. 3 mistakes. Real science. Here's what it reveals. Mistake number 1, the fix-it-later trap. Professor Evelyn Bischoff sees this mistake constantly in her clinic. She's a professor of medicine and internal medicine specialist who treats real patients every single day. She calls it the fix-it-later trap. You know exactly how it sounds. I'll sleep better once this project wraps up. I'll get healthy after the holidays. We've all been there. Her research shows the damage from your 30s and 40s builds up silently. It's like a slow leak in a pipe. You don't feel it until one day you really do, and by then you've already lost years of repair time you can't get back. The most overlooked factor in longevity isn't a supplement or some fancy workout routine. It's something you do or don't do every single night. It's sleep, but not in the way most people assume. What Bischoff keeps pointing out is the dangerous combo of chronic low-level dehydration and poor sleep positioning. Together, they create sleep fragmentation, those tiny micro-awakenings so brief you never even notice them. Your brain does though. Over the years, she describes it as a slow leak in your biological bucket. You feel completely fine until one day you don't. The fix is almost insultingly simple. Your urine should be pale yellow. Not dark yellow, not crystal clear. Pale yellow. That's your target. And if you sleep on your back with no support, you're gently compressing your airway, just enough to fragment your sleep without fully waking you. Switching to side sleeping with a properly supportive pillow removes most of that problem. It's not glamorous advice, but it works. The reason most people ignore it is exactly because it's this basic. We all want the complicated solution instead. That seals the first mistake, poor sleep and dehydration. Start fixing it today if you actually want to stay healthier longer. The next mistake is the one that quietly works against people who already think they're doing everything right. The ones with gym memberships, meal prep, and sleep trackers. This one is silently undermining all of it. Mistake number 2, the age lie. Peter Fedichev isn't a doctor. He's a physicist. And that's actually what makes his work so interesting. He treats aging like any other complex system with hard math. His team built one of the most accurate biological age clocks in existence. It doesn't measure your birth year. It measures your actual cellular age. When they ran the numbers on what accelerates that clock the fastest, it wasn't some exotic disease. It wasn't even diet. It was something invisible. Chronic low-grade inflammation. Scientists call it inflammaging. In plain English, your immune system has 2 modes, attack and repair. When you're under constant stress, and I mean chronically, not just occasionally, it gets stuck in attack mode. It keeps firing inflammatory signals, even when there's nothing to fight. Those signals speed up every other aging process your body already has running. Think of your body as having a damage repair budget. Every stress response, a work deadline, a bad commute, an argument, even a notification that spikes your anxiety. It all costs from that budget. Your body is designed to spend some of it. That's normal. The problem is when you never stop spending. The number that really stood out, researchers using Fedichev's framework found that chronically stressed people can age biologically at nearly double the normal rate during prolonged high-stress periods. A bad year isn't just a bad year. It can literally add years to your biological age. The fix isn't what most people expect. It's not meditation. It's not a spa day. And it's definitely not just be less stressed, which is probably the most useless advice anyone has ever given. Fetichev's framework calls it structured recovery, and it's very specific. 10 minutes. No phone, no conversation, no input. Just stare out a window. Walk outside without headphones. Sit in your car for a few minutes after work before going inside. This isn't doing nothing. It's actively giving your cortisol levels a chance to drop and your inflammatory response a chance to reset. That 12-hour workday, followed by 3 hours of scrolling your phone, you feel like you're relaxing. You're not. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between doom scrolling and an actual threat. It stays activated. According to Fetichev's work, you're not just wasting time. You're spending biological currency you can't get back. 10 minutes. Structured. Every single day. Sleep sorted. Stress sorted. But here's the thing. Those two alone aren't enough. And this is where even people who've done everything else right still fail. Because they made longevity a solo project. Mistake number 3. The loneliness epidemic. The third expert is Dylan Livingston, founder of the Alliance for Longevity Initiatives. He's focused on making longevity science actually practical in the real world. And what he's found is the mistake that makes the first two even worse if you ignore it. His point is straightforward. Longevity is not a solo sport. You might think living longer comes down to kale smoothies, morning runs, and tracking every macro. And yeah, those things help. But Livingston highlights something most biohackers completely overlook: your social environment. The data is pretty clear. The Harvard study of adult development, one of the longest running health studies ever done, followed real people for over 80 years. It found that the quality of your relationships was one of the strongest predictors of long-term health. Stronger than cholesterol, stronger than blood pressure. And there's a biological reason behind it. Loneliness triggers the same stress response as physical pain. Chronically lonely people show higher cortisol, increased inflammation, and shorter telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA that shorten as you age. Chronic loneliness speeds that process up. You're wearing a $400 smartwatch to count your steps, but you haven't called your best friend in 3 weeks. Which one do you think actually matters more for how long and how well you live? The fix Livingston recommends is simple but powerful. Schedule a weekly call with someone you actually care about. Join something, a club, a class, a volunteer group, anything regular. Your immune system literally works better when you feel genuinely connected to other people. This isn't soft advice. It's straight biology. The longevity cheat code. 3 experts, 3 mistakes, 1 clear system. Professor Bischoff's message is simple. Stop treating your body like something you can fix later. Hydrate properly. Fix your sleep position. The small things you keep putting off are quietly working against you. Peter Fetichev's point is that you can't keep grinding without recovery. You have a biological repair budget, and you're burning through it chasing dopamine. 10 minutes of real, structured stillness every day isn't optional. It's maintenance. Dylan Livingston's message is that you can't do this alone. Build real social connections like your life depends on them. Because in many ways it does. All 3 of them agree on one thing. Longevity isn't a pill, a workout plan, or a gadget. It's a system. The biggest mistake is thinking you can fix just one part while ignoring the others. You actually have more control over how fast you age than most people realize. But only if you stop making these 3 mistakes. And you can start today. Before you click away, do one small thing right now. Text someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Drink a full glass of water. Or just sit quietly for 10 minutes with your phone face down. You just started. If any of these 3 mistakes hit home, drop a comment and tell me which one you're going to tackle first this week. I read every single one. If this video gave you something useful, hit subscribe for more straight science with zero fluff. I'll see you in the next one. Medical disclaimer. The information in this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional regarding any health concerns.